What's going on, people of the world? My name is Jay, and welcome to this edition of Sleight of Hand 101. Today we're going to be working on an intermediate trick known as the Jumping Gemini. This is one of my favorite tricks to perform because you can perform it at any angle with any amount of people watching. So grab a deck of cards and let's get started. So I want you guys to notice that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and that's all we're going to need for this trick. All I want you guys to do is keep your eye on the bottom card, which is the 2 of diamonds, okay? So if I reverse the order of the deck, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would leave the 2 of diamonds naturally. If it's on the bottom and we reverse it, it would leave the 2 of diamonds on top. Well, what if I put the 2 of diamonds on the bottom of these 4 cards? If I were to ask you where the 2 of diamonds might be, you would probably say it's on the bottom. Well, I would just say, actually, the 2 of diamonds is still on top. Well, what if I put the 2 of diamonds once again on the bottom? Well, at this point, you might think that I tricked you, and I did, because the 2 of diamonds is still on top. Well, what if I took the 2 of diamonds, and I clearly show you that I put it in the center, okay? And I snap my fingers? You would still say it's in the center, but because I snap my fingers, it actually jumps to the top. Here, we'll do something a little different. I'll actually put the 2 of diamonds on the table. So there's no way it's in my hand, there's no way I can grab at it. Well, you still miss something because the 2 of diamonds is still on top. Well, what if I put it there again? Obviously, if I put it there twice, it's gotta be there. Well, actually, the 2 of diamonds still is on top. Now, I know somebody asked me and mentioned this one time, you've got 4 2 of diamonds. And I said, well, that's funny because watch what happens when I snap my fingers. We actually have the 10 of spades. And the second card is the 10 of spades. In fact, the third card is also the 10 of spades, which leaves the fourth card, the 10 of spades. So in fact, we have no 2 of diamonds whatsoever. We've just got 4 10 of spades. Well, that's impossible. Well, actually, if I snap my fingers again, over here, we find a king. We'll go ahead and put that king on the table. Watch what happens if I snap again. We have another king. I don't even have to snap at this point because if we look here, we've got a third king, and that is a 4th and final king. Let's see how that's done. Welcome to the tutorial for the Jumping Gemini. This is an intermediate trick, so I ask that if you do not know the double lift already, that you click the video at the bottom of the screen, go ahead and learn that, and then come back and we'll get started. Great, so now that we know the double lift, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our setup here. Basically what we've got going on is 4 cards. We've got a 2, a king, a 10, and a king. Now, you can kind of change around and mix and match, whatever you wanna do with these 4 cards, but you need 2 face cards that are the same, and you need honestly, the best way to do it is a 2 and a 10, just because they're so different from each other. And then the most important thing, and I won't go into the psychology behind it, but you need each one of these cards to be a different suit. Groovy. So we have our setup. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that over. You wanna walk up to your spectator and you wanna say, right off the bat, before you do anything else, you wanna say, I want you to notice that I only have 4 cards. You really wanna make sure you emphasize that, because when you're doing this trick, people are gonna think you have more than 4 cards. So the best way to do that is to shake them like this, or even let them hold on to it and make sure they're 4. Just make sure, obviously, they don't flip them over. That'll ruin the trick. But essentially, you wanna just emphasize that you have 4 cards. Now, what I do right off the bat is when I show them the 4 cards, in my left hand, because that's my main hand where I'm gonna hold the deck in dealer's grip, I put these cards together and I get ready for a flush break with my pinky. Now, the point of doing this is you want to have a double lift setup when you put it all together. Obviously, you don't want to flush break this exaggerated. This is exaggerated, obviously, for tutorial purposes. However, you do want to flush break, and I would say something just really small like this. At this point, you say, I want you to remember the bottom card. It's a 2 of diamonds. Now, what you're doing with this transfer is you're taking your flush break from your pinky, and you're transferring it to your thumb. So you're going to have a thumb flush break, essentially. So you take your thumb and you make contact with the bottom of the deck right near where the pinky is. And you take your middle finger on the other side. Your pointer can just stay stationary on top if you like. And essentially, you transfer that flush break to your thumb. You flip it over. You do it fast enough so they don't see the flush break, obviously. You say, I want you to remember the 2 of diamonds. it's on the bottom of the deck. Just emphasize all those types of things. Ask a lot of questions with this trick. You want them to feel like they are in control of where the card is at all times so that you can steal that control back from them all the time. So you say, I want you to remember the 2 of diamonds, it's on the bottom. When you flip it over, even ask the question, now where's the 2 of diamonds? Just, have fun with it. Get them going and get them going, wait a minute, did you do something? And you say, they are gonna say, well, it's on the bottom. And you flip it over again. You still have that flush break, you're just transferring it back and forth between your pinky and your thumb. And you say, yeah, it's still on the bottom. I was just joking around, like that kind of stuff. At this point, you're gonna say, I'm gonna reverse the order of the deck. And while you're doing that, you take the top card, which is actually 2, because you have that double lift break. You say that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th card is actually 2 cards. It's those 2 cards that you put on the bottom at the beginning. At this point, they think that you've reversed the order of the deck, in which case all you have to do is say the 2 of diamonds is obviously on top because we took it from the bottom and reversed it to the top. Now at this point, what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna take a triple lift. And this is a lot easier than you might think it is because the triple lift is so easy. All you have to do is push off the top 3 cards, use a lot of pressure with your thumb. Okay, so you're gonna put a lot of pressure on your thumb. It's gonna be over near this edge of your hand, and you're gonna push over those 3 cards with your, it really doesn't matter how you take it as long as you pinch it, and this is just learning the double lift. You're gonna take that triple lift and you're gonna flip it over, make it look like 1, and obviously this card is supposed to represent the other 3 when really it doesn't. Okay, so you flip it over, you say, so the 2 of diamonds is now on top. Take it, flip it over again. Now this is where you take not the 2 of diamonds and you put it on the bottom, okay? At this point you wanna get a double lift. The best way to do it is to make eye contact and distract them here so you can get a double lift with your thumb, or if you're really good, you can get a double lift with your pinky. So you get your double lift, distract them however you're gonna do it, and you say, so the 2's on the bottom, now where's the 2? And they say, well, it's on the bottom. And that's when you take that control back from them and you say, well, actually the 2 is still on top. And this is just a double lift. However you wanna do it really doesn't matter. You say, 2's still on top. Well, I'm gonna put that 2 back on the bottom. So they think it's on the bottom. You ask, where's the 2? They're gonna say, well, obviously it's on bottom. You just put it there. And this is really easy, it's just 1 card. So you say, actually still, the 2 is on top. So here's what I'm gonna do. Make sure the 2 is still face up. That's kind of important. It kind of emphasizes that you're not cheating them in any way. You're gonna take the deck and you're gonna spread it. Okay, and you're gonna take that 2 and you're gonna put it second to last from the bottom. So it's the 3rd card from the top. And you can even just keep emphasizing that you're actually putting the 2 in there. Okay, that's really key. Put it all together, flush the deck, and at this point, it's the same thing as the beginning. A triple lift, except instead of putting the card to the bottom, you actually just put it on the table. You say, I'm gonna change it up, I'm gonna put the 2 on the table. Now where's the 2? They're gonna think it's on the table, do a double lift, there's the 2. You're gonna put it on the table once again, and then it's just a single. Don't show this last card. Okay, you're just gonna say, see the 2 still on top. Now this is really important what you do next. Take the 2 and put it under this card. This card is your 10 of spades. Okay, you want this to be your 3rd card from the top when you put it all together. So you're gonna take your 2, you're gonna put it under the 10 of spades, you're gonna take these cards on the table and you're gonna put them all on top. So then your setup is 2, 10, king, king. These kings don't really matter where they are, it's just that you have them above the 10 and the 2. You say, now, somebody asked me one time that I had 4 2 of diamonds or whatever. And then you say, well, actually what happens if I snap my fingers, and this is where you take a triple lift, you show them the 10 of spades, okay? Take that triple again. Like I said, it's a lot easier than it seems to get the triple lift off 4 cards. All you have to do is just put pressure on the top 3 and move them over, and then obviously your last card down here. So you're gonna take that 10, flip it over. At this point, you take the 10 that's not the actual 10. You don't put it on the deck, you don't put it on the table and you don't put it on the bottom. Take it and leave it in your hand, okay? Kind of just keep it out of the way. What I use is my 3 fingers down here because this is what I use for my double lift. So you take that 10, put it back here, then take a double lift, flip it over, it's 10. Now at this point you have 2 options. You can either keep these cards back here and flip over the 10 again, or you can do my favorite method, which is taking these cards and flipping over the 10. Okay, this is the actual 10, there's no other, this just 1 card. And this is honestly the hardest part of the trick is this next part. This is when you flip over the 10, and what I do is I really exaggerate flipping over the 10 because you want them to, you'll see it in a second, but essentially you flip over the 10, flip it back over, and when you do this, you want to kind of cover the cards. Take your ring and your pinky, and on the bottom, grab this last card. It should be your 2, okay? What you're essentially doing is you're pulling out the 2, and you're doing this so fast that they can't see it, but you pull out the 2, and you flip over the 10. Now it looks like the 10 was on the bottom. So I'll do that again. You have your 2 cards, you flip over the 10, you say this is the third 10. When you flip it over, kind of exaggerate the flip, take your 2, kind of cover it up a little bit, take those 2 fingers at the bottom, pull over the 2, and then flip it over. So kind of quickly, I mean, if you're looking for it, you're obviously gonna see it, but when they're not looking for it, it's really hard to detect. Flip over, take the last card, and you do it so fast that, I mean, essentially, it's just doing that. Okay, so you flip over the 10, put all the cards together. This next part is really, really easy. All you do is show the bottom card, it's the 10. And what you're doing is you're actually taking from the top the entire time. So you're just showing the bottom card and taking from the top. You do this so fast that people don't notice that you're just taking the top card. So you literally are just rifling through, put the 10 on the top. At this point, you're left with this setup. King, king, 2, 10, okay? So basically you're gonna strip off the top card, it's just 1 card, and you're gonna pull the 3 cards from the bottom. It looks like this. Pull 3 cards from the bottom. Just use your thumb to essentially pull off the top card. You're gonna take those 3 cards and you're gonna flip them over. It's your first king. Put that on. Now, what's nice is you can actually just put the 2 down and you can say you're putting the king on the table. What you have to do at this point, because you're in this setup, you can't show them the next bottom card. So either slyly or even it really doesn't matter, just strip the top card and put it on the bottom. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. They're not really gonna notice it. It's not gonna play a huge part in the trick. Then you're gonna do exactly what you just did, except it's just 2 cards, flip it over, you've got a king, okay? You're gonna put that on the deck, putting the 10 down. Now obviously you can do however you wanna show these last 2 kings, doesn't matter. I like to kinda like flip them up because it looks kind of weird, I guess, but essentially it almost looks like you're just magically getting a king. You flip it up, this is your 3rd king, flip it up, and that's your 4th king, and then you're done. At that point, you're clean. I mean, make sure you put the cards on the deck quickly or put them away because people will want to grab at them. They'll want to say, oh, let me see those cards, and they'll look at it. Oh, I saw you did it. At that point, for me, most of the time when I get that, I just put them on the deck. You know, I'll say like, okay, and then I'll take the deck, shuffle them up. Essentially, just clean it up as quick as you can, and you know, that's the whole trick, and that's the Jumping Gemini. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learned something. You know, if you're still struggling with this magic trick, just go back and re-watch this video, review the steps, you know, get it down, nail it, and practice, practice, practice. I promise that you will blow a lot of minds with this trick. So, you know, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate it, and it really helps me out. You know, if you didn't like the video, hit the like button anyways. You know, it helps me out, you know. Anyways, so subscribe so you never miss a video. And also check out JNation for more gaming and Sleight of Hand 101 related content. I'll check you guys later. Peace. Seriously, peace.